Hello and welcome to this ONTR Modurol video. Cheap EV, Nissan Leaf, is it any good? This is a follow-up video having driven roughly 2,000 miles in this very cheap electric car, and it's video L003 in our series of Nissan Leaf videos. Hello, my name is Damien. I'm an engineer, car enthusiast and YouTuber from mid-Wales. I bought my electric car so I could commute 50 miles to Telford from Newtown. It saves over 50% in the fuel costs, and obviously it's zero emissions. So this EV I bought, this Nissan Leaf, is an 8-year-old car. It really is the budget end of the market. You can't find many cheaper cars than this, but I thought I got a bit of a bargain because this still has, as I say, 85% of its battery left. So it's still got a lot of life left in it. It's only lost 15% in the first 8 years and 56,000 miles. So I'm hoping to do a similar amount of mileage before I even think about having to change the battery because the range getting less than my 50 miles commute. Being an engineer, I try and maintain my own cars. And that's one thing I love about this EV. It's very, very simple. You've just got the motor and the battery underneath the passenger compartment. There isn't any things to deal with, as I say, with my normal high mileage diesel, sort of the DPF, the EGR valve, the exhaust system, the catalyst, not to mention the dual mass flywheel and clutch, the potential turbos being worn out. So although this Leaf may need new battery in some time in the future, what it won't need is any of those things. And the cost is going to be probably quite comparable, to be honest. So hopefully this will be more reliable and yeah, it's less complex. One of the things people talk a lot about with EV as a negative is the lack of range and range anxiety. Have I suffered with range anxiety? Well, I suppose in the beginning when I wasn't quite sure of the car I did a little bit, but you soon realise it's not really an issue. Driving an EV is very different. Take for example my diesel car. If my diesel car had 70 miles left to go, I'd probably look to fill it up as soon as I could. Even the low fuel light would come on, but with an EV I'm actually starting out fully charged at 70-80 miles range. So it's quite a different experience. Plus the actual fuel or the electricity is available practically everywhere. Luckily I can charge at home, obviously, and my employer also has a charging point at work, so I can charge at both ends of my commute. What I would say, you may suffer from range anxiety if you go on a longer trip and you haven't done enough advanced planning, or the infrastructure, the charging network lets you down. But I'm sure all those things will come along with time and improve. So range anxiety, not really an issue for me. When I started driving my EV, I did have to make some minor adjustments. It does make you very conscious of the amount of energy you're using, particularly with this fairly limited mileage early car. Putting the heating on, driving very fast, windscreen wipers, etc. It does take a little bit out of the range, so you're very conscious of it initially, but in reality it's very, very little and you can just crack on as normal. But it does make you conscious of energy and the amount of energy my old car used to waste in heat, etc. Because this particular car hasn't got a huge battery, it does have lots of readouts to tell you how much energy you're using, both for the motor but also for the climate control and the auxiliaries. As you can see here, I'm not using very much, but with the heating on I've got a slight amount of kilowatts being generated, and you can see at the moment out of 56 mile range I'll lose 5 miles just by having the heating on. So it's not a massive amount, but you need to bear that in mind, particularly when you're getting close to your destination and you're short of miles. I'm currently using what we call a granny charger, which uses a normal 3-pin plug fitted this external box to allow better access. This will charge the car in roughly 8 to 10 hours with my 24 kilowatt battery, but Long term, I'm going to try and upgrade this to a 7 kilowatt charger, which will obviously charge faster, and I'll be able to take advantage of the night tariffs, which offer discount rates for 4 to 6 hours in the evening, or sorry, after midnight. Battery degradation, or how long the battery will last, is also another factor in EVs. This car is 8 years old, still has 85% of its battery capacity left, and they reckon on this 24 kilowatt battery I'll lose about 2% of its battery every 10,000 miles. So in theory this should last me my 50-mile commute 2 to 3 years minimum. The best thing I enjoy about my Nissan Leaf is it's very easy to drive, it's very nippy, and you can set the timer so the car is warm when you get it in it first thing in the morning. One thing I dislike about the EV is having to constantly plug and unplug the car. It's especially a problem if it's raining or it's a very cold morning. My next EV, I'd like a few improvements. Wireless charging would really be handy, although I don't think any cars do that yet. Also, I'd like a little bit more range. Having said that, the range of 50 miles for this car, I think it's actually 70, is quite adequate for what I need. And the infrastructure is not quite as important for me as other people because I can charge at home and at work. I did consider myself a bit of a petrol head with Jaguar V8 and lots of nice GTI cars in the 80s and 90s, but having sampled this electric car, you can see the future isn't petrol, it's actually just nice, powerful electric cars. Potentially hydrogen, possibly, but today's fuel is definitely electric. As I say, I'm an enthusiast and I really love my Jaguar XK8. It's a real V8 petrol guzzler, but after sampling my EV, I can really think the future for this car is to convert it to electric too. So if I save up enough money, I'll try and afford that project for the long-term life of this very nice looking Jaguar XK8. So I'd certainly recommend an EV if you've got moderate, regular mileage. Even these budget ones make a lot of sense financially, and obviously there's zero emissions. And for a long, regular, medium distance commute, it does make a lot of sense. As I said, they're not very complicated, there's not a lot of things can go wrong, so compared to a diesel, hopefully I save a lot of money in maintenance costs too in the longer run. So my experience of this EV is very positive. I'd highly recommend getting one. Obviously, the bit of a get out then, we haven't actually driven this car in anything like winter temperatures. The lowest temperature I've had is 4 or 5 degrees. So I'm hoping I've got about 20% of leeway in there, but I won't actually know till I've done it. There will be follow-up to the winter range. Will I get there? This was a follow-up video to our original video, L001 Budget Electric, 100 miles in a day. Take a look at that video if you're interested in that sort of stuff. I'm also going to do videos on how to set up car wings for a second owner, Leaf Spy, spare wheel edition, changing the oil, some slight aero mods, and obviously LED lights, etc. If you're interested in this video, please take a look at our channel, O&DI Modurol. We're planning lots of Leaf videos, and there's lots of Jaguar XK8 videos, which is about the polar opposite, to be honest. But please like, comment, share, and subscribe if you'd like to see more videos.